The Bears training camp is officially underway, as veterans reported on this Tuesday, July 22nd, marking the beginning of an intense preparation period for the team. This time of year always brings a unique mix of excitement and anticipation, especially as everyone's eyes turn toward how the squad will shape up for the upcoming season. One of the biggest storylines here is the dynamic between Caleb Williams, the new quarterback, and Ben Johnson, the head coach, who also serves as the offensive coordinator and play caller. This relationship is absolutely crucial because the success of the offense hinges on how well these two can connect and develop chemistry over the course of the camp. It's not just about whether they hit it off immediately, but how their partnership evolves. There might be some bumps in the road early on, which is normal when you're dealing with new coaching philosophies and fresh leadership at the helm. The question on everyone's mind is, will this growth be steady and progressive over the next 5 to 6 weeks, or will it be more erratic before smoothing out? The hope, of course, is for steady improvement that's noticeable by the time the regular season kicks off. The quarterback and head coach relationship is arguably the most important on any team, especially when the head coach calls the plays. Caleb's development needs to be the top priority during camp. By the time the Bears finish their preseason preparation, fans and analysts alike want to feel confident in where Caleb stands heading into Game 1. How he performs during camp doesn't always perfectly reflect how he'll play when the season starts, but it does give us important clues. Early practices might be a little shaky as he adjusts to the new system and the pace of professional football, but ideally the progress should be clear by the end of camp. With reps, coaching adjustments, and growing familiarity with Ben Johnson's offense, Caleb should show marked improvement. One of the key areas fans will be watching closely is his ability to get the ball out quicker. The Bears are expected to have a stronger offensive line this year, which naturally provides the quarterback with more time in the pocket. But Caleb's style isn't about lightning fast releases like some quarterbacks he's historically held onto the ball longer, similar to other quarterbacks who take more time to read the field. That said, there has to be some balance. While Caleb won't suddenly become a league leader in time to throw, he does need to speed up his decisions in certain situations to avoid sacks and negative plays. The quicker the ball comes out, the better chance his receivers have to make plays. Another area for growth is deep ball accuracy. Last season, that was inconsistent at best. Some throws were off due to timing issues with receivers. Some were simply poor throws, and some had to do with his footwork and overall mechanics. While it's unlikely Caleb will jump from the bottom tier of deep ball throwers to one of the elite this year, improving this aspect even marginally could be a huge boost for the Bears' offense. More importantly, hitting more of those deep attempts, even if just enough to give receivers a fighting chance, matters a lot. In fact, underthrowing a deep ball can sometimes be preferable to overthrowing it, especially if you have a receiver like Rome Odunze who excels in contested catches. Roma's ability to win jump balls at a high rate means giving him the opportunity to make a play is often better than risking a risky pass that sails too far. Additionally, Ben Johnson has spoken about emphasizing both efficiency and aggressiveness in the offense, encouraging Caleb to take chances within reason. The idea is that some turnovers might be acceptable if they come as a result of a more aggressive approach, because sacks tend to kill drives outright. Pushing the envelope to generate explosive plays can change the momentum of games and is essential in today's NFL. So the challenge for Caleb is to grow more confident and aggressive without losing control or making reckless decisions. It's a delicate balance, but one that could pay huge dividends if executed correctly. The question for fans is, what specific area do you think Caleb needs to improve the most? Is it something measurable like release speed or deep ball accuracy, or maybe intangibles such as leadership and decision-making under pressure? His progression this camp will be fascinating to watch. Turning to the offensive line, the left tackle competition stands out as another major storyline. The Bears' offensive line is mostly settled from left guard to right tackle, with players like Joe Thuney, Drew Dalman, Jonah Jackson, and Darnell Wright locked in. Jonah Jackson, while generally solid, had an unusual season last year, but seems poised to reunite well with Ben Johnson, which could stabilize his performance. The real question remains at left tackle, who will step up to protect Caleb's blind side. The contenders are Braxton Jones, Ozzie Trapillo, and Cronaghy. Depending on when this is viewed, there might be more clarity about Braxton Jones' status after his ankle surgery, but at this moment it's still a wide open race. This battle is critical because left tackle is a pivotal position responsible for keeping the quarterback safe and opening lanes in the run game. The Bears appear confident in their other for starters, so this position draws extra scrutiny. Moving Darnell Wright to left tackle seems unlikely, so the team needs a strong answer here. Whoever wins this job will carry a huge responsibility, and it will be one of the defining storylines throughout the next month of camp. Beyond the quarterback and left tackle, roster depth is another big focus, as the Bears iron out the details before the final cut-down day. Positions like edge rusher and running back are under the microscope, given the impact those roles can have on a team's success. While the starters at linebacker, safety, and the interior offensive line seem more set, questions about backups remain. Ryan Bates, for instance, is a player to watch at interior line, but his health status is uncertain. If healthy, he could provide valuable depth playing both center and guard, which is crucial in case of injuries. Luke Newman, a sixth-round pick, has been working to transition between center and guard and may soon be tested as a primary backup, but it's still a question mark how ready he is. There is also a possibility the Bears bring in a veteran guard if a need arises, especially if players like Brandon Sheriff become available and are willing to play for a lower salary. The team might look to get creative with Cronaghy as well, possibly giving him snaps at guard if the left tackle competition narrows to Braxton Jones and Ozzie Trapillo. These depth considerations are essential because football is a brutal sport where injuries happen, and having reliable backups can make or break a season. When it comes to impact additions, edge rusher and running back remain the most likely spots to see upgrades. While it's unlikely a blockbuster move brings in someone better than Monty Sweat at edge, there could be an opportunity to add players who outperform current backups like Austin Booker or Dominique Robinson. At running back, the Bears might bring in a complementary piece to pair with Swift, maybe even a player like Kenneth Walker or James Cook who could challenge for more playing time. These kinds of additions could add a new dimension to the offense and provide insurance against injuries. Key injuries are always a storyline during training camp, and the Bears are monitoring Braxton Jones and Culliston Loveland closely. Both rookies recently reported, but updates on Loveland's shoulder status and Jones's ankle recovery have been scarce. Veteran players have mostly passed physicals without issue, but these rookies represent potential starters, so their health is critical. Jalen Johnson is currently on the non-football injury list, though that doesn't seem to be a serious concern at this time. Another layer of intrigue is which young players will take the next step. This season, not everyone will become a superstar overnight, but players who were projects last year could emerge as reliable contributors or even starters. Aside from Caleb Williams, names like Roma Dunne, who might elevate from solid starter to high-end contributor, and Darnell Wright, who has been good but could become one of the best right tackles in the league, are on the rise. Javon Dexter has shown promise as a rotation player and might be ready to take a bigger role, while Tyreek Stevenson's roller coaster ride highlights the need for consistency. Austin Booker is another player to watch as a potential third edge rusher who can make impactful plays at key moments. Overall, the Bears need more players to develop into blue-chip talents. Joe Thuney and Jalen Johnson fit that category, and Monty Sweat and DJ Moore have flashed that ability at times but haven't maintained it consistently. The hope is that with coaching and player development, others like Roma Dunne and Darnell Wright can move up to the next level. These improvements are vital for the team's growth and success. Ultimately, the biggest spotlight shines on Caleb Williams. His growth and performance will set the tone for the entire season. Alongside him, finding stability at left tackle and getting key players to step up consistently will go a long way toward the Bears competing at a high level. Training camp is a chance to see who will rise to the occasion and who might struggle. The weeks ahead promise plenty of drama and exciting football as this team takes shape. The Bears enter this stretch of training camp not just searching for answers at key positions, but looking for identity. This is the first true glimpse at what the Ben Johnson era might look like in Chicago. Every drill, every rep, every padded practice gives a clue about the type of culture he wants to build and how this team is expected to compete. From Caleb Williams' development to the trench battles and the emergence of young talent, everything is under a microscope. And that's exactly how it should be for a franchise trying to climb out of the middle and back into serious contention. As the days tick by, certain veterans will show why they're still cornerstones, while younger players will try to carve out their roles. Some of these stories might seem minor now, but could end up defining the season. Take, for instance, how the defensive rotation takes shape. The Bears have a few established names, but overall the depth is still untested in many areas. At edge rusher, beyond Monty Sweat, the team is relying on upside guys like Austin Booker and Dominique Robinson, neither of whom has proven they can consistently win against starting caliber tackles. This is why many around the league believe Chicago could still be active in the veteran market, but edge isn't the only place where that's true. At safety, the Topin talent is serviceable, but there are question marks about who steps in. If one of the starters misses time, same story at linebacker. Yes, the starters are solid, but there's not a ton of confidence in the depth behind them. These aren't flashy topics, but they're the kind of things that become critical when the season grinds on and bodies start to break down. That's why training camp is so much more than just star power. It's about discovering which backups are reliable, who understands the system, and who you can count on when adversity hits. One area that continues to generate curiosity is the backfield. With D'Andre Swift penciled in as the lead back, the Bears have a dynamic playmaker with burst and elusiveness, but the question is who's the thunder to his lightning. Swift can break big runs and create mismatches in the passing game, but he's not built to take 25 carries a game between the tackles. If the Bears want to manage his workload and keep him fresh through the year, they need another option. That could be someone already on the roster, but it might also be a mid-camp addition. There are several intriguing names still available across the league, and a well-timed signing could give this offense a new gear. The Bears don't need a superstar behind Swift, but they do need someone who can step in and deliver consistent touches when asked. Another wrinkle that will shape this team is how well the offensive line holds up over time. While the interior is much improved with Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman, and Jonah Jackson forming a powerful trio, depth remains a concern. Injuries are inevitable in the NFL, especially in the trenches, and the Bears need to feel confident in the next man up. Ryan Bates is expected to be the top reserve, but his availability is still in question. Luke Newman has shown promise, but asking a sixth-round rookie to anchor the line in the event of an injury might be a stretch. There's also Doug Kramer, but again, he's unproven. This is where general manager Ryan Poles might have to get aggressive late in camp. If a veteran interior lineman becomes available, adding him to stabilize that second unit would be a wise move. The reality is no team wants to rely on backup linemen, but when you do have to, you'd better make sure they can hold their own. Meanwhile, wide receiver depth is another storyline to monitor. DJ Moore is locked in as the #1 target. Rome Odunze brings excitement and potential, but who becomes that third option? Is it a veteran trying to prove he still has gas in the tank, or does a younger guy surprise everyone in camp and preseason? These battles are often decided in the margins. Who blocks better? Who makes the most of limited targets? Who shows trustworthiness on third down in an offense that's still trying to find rhythm? Every rep counts. And speaking of rhythm, Ben Johnson's offensive scheme is starting to show its identity in subtle ways. There's a clear emphasis on timing, motion, and spacing. The idea is to create mismatches pre-snap and force defenses to communicate quickly. Caleb is still learning the nuances of it, but his comfort level seems to grow with each session. What's encouraging is how Johnson tailors parts of the system to fit Caleb's strengths, rather than forcing him into a mold. That's a sign of smart coaching, and it's something Bears fans haven't always seen in years past. Instead of trying to make Caleb into something he's not, they're working on polishing what he already does well and slowly expanding his skill set. That brings us back to the bigger picture. This team needs playmakers, and not just on offense. On the defensive side, someone has to emerge alongside Sweat as a real problem for opposing quarterbacks. Jervin Dexter might be that guy. He's shown flashes in the past, but consistency is the missing piece. If he can become a player who disrupts the interior and collapses pockets, that changes everything for the front seven. Tyreek Stevenson is another defender under the spotlight. He has all the tools, speed, length, instincts, but the highs and lows have been dramatic. What the Bears need from him isn't a big leap in talent, but in reliability. Just becoming a steady presence on the outside could give this secondary a major boost. And then there's the rookies. Every year, someone unexpected turns heads in training camp, and this year will be no different. Could it be a sixth-round pick who climbs the depth chart, a UDFA who refuses to be ignored? These stories don't just make camp more exciting, they matter. They shape roster decisions and can even influence how certain position groups are managed during the season. Coaches love when young players earn their way onto the field because it shows the development pipeline is working. Injuries, of course, remain the wild card. As camp wears on, minor issues will pop up: tight hamstrings, sore shoulders, rolled ankles. The Bears are already dealing with a few situations that deserve attention. Braxton Jones and Cullston Loveland are both recovering from surgeries. Their progress could determine how quickly the offensive line stabilizes. Jones in particular was expected to compete for the left tackle job, and if he's slow to return, that might shift plans for the entire line. Meanwhile, Jalen Johnson's appearance on the non-football injury list doesn't seem serious. But until he's back fully, it's a storyline worth monitoring. These are the kinds of updates that can shift depth charts overnight. The final piece to this camp puzzle is how leadership develops within the locker room. This is a young team with fresh voices, and while veterans like Joe Thuney and Jalen Johnson set the tone, others need to rise. Caleb, of course, will need to embrace a vocal leadership role. Even as a rookie, the quarterback sets the emotional temperature of a team. How he carries himself during tough practices, how he handles a bad throw or a misread coverage, all of that gets noticed. Players gravitate toward quarterbacks who own their mistakes and stay even-keeled. Ben Johnson has made it clear that leadership isn't optional in this system, it's expected. The best teams aren't just talented, they're cohesive. They hold each other accountable, they play with energy, and they know how to respond to adversity. That's the challenge for the Bears as they push through the grind of camp. Not just to find starters or finalize rosters, but to forge a new identity. To be a team that doesn't just show flashes, but plays with purpose and consistency. The weeks ahead will include joint practices, preseason games, and plenty of media coverage. But behind all that is the real work, the grind, the film study, the corrections, and the competition. And in that work, the 2025 Chicago Bears are being formed one rep, one meeting, one day at a time. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around Hollis Hall after reports emerged of a heated confrontation between rookie quarterback Caleb Williams and star wide receiver DJ Moore. According to sources close to the team, the altercation took place behind closed doors in the locker room and quickly escalated beyond a simple disagreement. Though details remain murky, the fallout appears to be significant. Both players have allegedly been temporarily removed from the active roster. While the Bears organization has yet to release an official statement, speculation is growing that this could be more than just a routine locker room spat. Insiders suggest that the tension may have been brewing for some time, possibly stemming from miscommunications on the field or differing leadership styles. Williams, the much-hyped first overall draft pick, has faced immense pressure to live up to expectations, and any rift with a veteran like Moore could signal deeper issues within the team's dynamic. Some reports claim that voices were raised and that teammates had to intervene to prevent the situation from escalating further. The nature of the confrontation, whether it was personal, professional, or a mix of both, remains unclear. However, what is clear is the sense of urgency surrounding the Bears' handling of the situation. With training camp heating up and the season fast approaching, the sudden absence of two of the team's most important defensive pieces is causing a stir among fans and analysts alike. There's growing concern that the locker room chemistry, which had appeared promising during early off-season activities, might be more fragile than previously believed. While it's too early to make definitive judgments, this alleged fallout between Williams and Moore could mark a turning point in how the Bears navigate leadership and manage internal pressures.